Welcome back to another edition of the Crossover with Joe Arlauckas. Today, as usual, I'm so excited to get to know our next guest, a guy who in my day would have been known as the big man playing in the paint, but when he's draining threes the way he usually does, there's no need for him to go inside. Don't get me wrong, he's not afraid to, but with career days like 8 for 8 from behind the arc in one game, why bang with the big boys, right? Please welcome the Crossover, Mario Hezonja. How you doing, my man?
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, Zulia, did I get it right?
Everything seems perfect.
The important thing was I nailed that, because I had Thanksgiving dinner the other day with some family, some friends, and part of the people that were there were Zan Tabak and his wife, Garana.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you know. And I said, Garana, I got to get his name right. I said, send me some voice notes.
Yeah, no, it's hard. It's hard. So you get the pass. Don't worry about it.
You were in the States for a long time. I'm sure they messed your name up.
Oh, yeah. Every time. But after a while, you just don't take it personally anymore. So it's fine.
Hey, man, my last names are Lucas. It's Arlauckas.
Yeah.
They can agree with it.
I will say Arlauckas too, so I'm mistaking yours too. So we're on the same page already. Don't worry.
You know, when you get to be my age, the most important thing is that they're calling you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
too.
as long as they're still calling you.
For me now, it's the most important. They don't call me because it's trouble. So.
Right. Hey, look, you've been Americanized over the years. All that time, did you and the boys from the team, OJ Mayo, John Brown, you guys do a Thanksgiving or not? Did you knock out some turkey?
I think they did. Of course, I'm, Croatian. I was. I was for sure, but I had unfortunately some other things to take care of. I had my dogs over here, so I had a lot of trouble with them, so I had to take care of them. I think they did something. Of course, they're Americans. They have their own traditions and everything. Of course, when I was there, I was going crazy. I know, I think one time we played in Boston for Thanksgiving, and it was crazy. I never seen so much food in my life. It was amazing. But at the same time, I was like, damn, when are we gonna finish this food in a week? I thought it was a whole week celebration. It's a one day.
Hey, I spent a week in Split this year, and you guys know how to eat too.
Yeah, they go crazy too. Yeah.
Dubrovnik, that's where you were born and raised, right?
Yeah.
Nicest city in Croatia? One of the nicest cities in Croatia, or the nicest?
The nicest city by far, yeah. In my opinion, yeah. We are very, very different down there, so I usually don't like to brag about it, but when it comes to Dubrovnik, it's number one.
I didn't get up there. My next trip to Croatia.
You have to go.
I don't know. Every time I do one of these interviews with you guys, I'm like, all right, somewhere or another by then, I'm gonna get myself invited to your place.
Yeah, I got you for the summer then.
Hey, growing up there, tell me a little bit about family, mom and dad, brothers, sisters.
Yeah, obviously tough. Right after the war, wasn't easy. It wasn't anything sweet. I have a sister also, so my both parents born and raised in the city, obviously going through all the good times and bad times of that city.
Right.
And basically sport saved us. So in basketball, in my case, in my father's case, was water polo. He was the best goalkeeper of Croatia, the best goalkeeper of the national team there, and the war came, and his world fell apart. But I'm glad that I got to keep our last name out, and through the sport get to see the world, get out of the city, get out of the country, so it's a blessing for our entire family that I got to do what I love.
It's funny you said that, because I spent 3 days on a boat with the Tabaks when I was in Split, and they had me out there playing water polo.
Yes. We have a league. We have a whole league back in my hometown in the summer. You have to play. If you don't play, we don't take you serious. We don't take you as one of our own.
You're not Croatian, right?
Yeah. If you don't do this, you don't get to see other good things. So it's very hard.
Did you do that before basketball?
Yes, like at one day, my father came to me and say, "Hey, like I know you want to play everything, and I know you're good at all of these sports, but at one day, you have to choose what you want. You want to go to, like college and like finish like something, you get a degrees or something, or like you want to focus on one sport. But then if you focus on sport, you have to choose one. You can't be playing many of them, because I was at the time being selected for a handball team, for a soccer team, and for a basketball team. And I had so many practices in a day that I would change sports. Right. I didn't even know what sport I played anymore, So it was one day I just had to choose what I want to do.
Yeah, but don't you think in a way for athletes it's good to play a lot of different sports, because the technical issue of it,
yes, absolutely,
your footwork.
Yes. I think especially for us, soccer, like the agility, the stamina, the footwork. I think it's very, important, and then of course you get I mean, in my case, it was a handball, so also you get used to tackles, to contact. It's kind of like what Americans like to play the American football, so that's for us is handball.
The physicality of handball helps in basketball. When you
yes, tremendously. Yeah. So I think, it helped me a lot, like especially in those early years, when you're a kid, everything sticks to you, the good things, the stuff that you learn. And then, like if you have that talent for the sports, everything is, always sticks to you, in my opinion, you know what I mean? So you use some stuff that I was good at in soccer, I use in basketball, which makes no sense when I'm telling you like this, but in basketball court, when you're running and the footwork just picks up, it's very helpful.
No, I get it. I was the same way. I played all different sports, and I always felt like each one helped me in the other one.
Oh, yeah.
But when did the NBA come a dream for you? And when did it turn from a dream into like
that was that was always like the question, like when you go to NBA, you have to answer these questions. Oh yeah, my dream was this and this, but it's not like this. I was never dreaming. I was never, I want to do this. I just wanted to play. I wanted to enjoy. I wanted to be better than anyone I play against, and I wanted to be to win. To be the best. And it was, the life was just taking me places, and the one day I just got drafted. That's the most honest and most realistic story in my opinion. I was never thinking, I was going to, I'm in Croatia now, but tomorrow, guys, you're going to see me in NBA. I think that's very not humble, first of all. And I think that's skipping steps, you know what I mean? You're focused on something that is in future, and I'm not focused that I'm realistically player for Croatia at that time, and that I have to first dominate in Croatia to get to Europe, and then dominate in Europe to get there, you know what I mean? Of course, I was getting, I was excelling at the steps, so I was even taking 2 steps ahead. I was already ready for NBA at a certain time. That was you see rarely, so I left to NBA immediately. But, I was always, to that type of questions, I was never, oh, Joe, at this time, I really knew I was going to be to NBA. I never had that.
I get that. It's kind of what happened to me. It just kind of like came upon me. And But when was it when you were like, when you like woke up one day, you looked in the mirror like, oh shit, I might have this opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I never had that thought process in me. You know what I mean? I was always focused.
This is the crossover. This isn't any other like.
I know. That's why I'm telling you the truth. I don't want to be BSing. That's why. I never had it. I really never had it. Like, it was when it became reality, it was normal to me. But when it wasn't reality to me, I wasn't thinking about it. At all. I wasn't thinking like, damn, like, okay, like today I'm doing this, but tomorrow I'm going to be playing with, I don't know, against Kobe's, LeBron's and this and that. I didn't care for them. I didn't care for that, like, next level, you know what I mean? I just wanted to dominate my level where I was at. But
yeah, I mean, you went to you went to Zagreb, which I'm assuming from Dubrovnik, that had to be, that had to be like,
oh my God. That was a transition, man. I remember I landed to Zagreb, and I went with my mother there because they didn't let me go by myself, which is probably the smartest thing. they ever like done, and the smartest thing that these parents do nowadays with these young kids, because I've seen so many bad examples when they came along, especially my teammates back there in Zagreb. He went south for them very, very quick, because Zagreb is no joke as a city, and
you're only 12 years old at the time.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but I was actually 14. I was just finished my primary school,
Yeah.
But still, you're a kid, trust me, I know so many people out there. If you don't have any self-control, if you're not growing faster than your generation, that generation pulls you down very, very quick, So, but long story short, I got there with my mother, and I look at the building where they put me, and I was looking like, there is no way I'm going to live here. There is no way. I left Dubrovnik for this, blah blah blah, whatever. But it ended up being 3 best years of my life there. I really, grew, and as a person, as a player, as a teammate, everything. Like I really had a great system behind me and a great coach, Andre Tesla, behind me, and he's. I give a big thanks to him. We won a lot of trophies with that generation, and he was like our second father to all of us there, and a lot of guys excelled under him.
You mentioned that a lot of people went south. While they were there, young kids, being put out there, I guess. But I mean, how many? This is one that always makes me laugh. How many players do you think you played with that might have had more talent than you, or had more talent than you at the time?
None. The talent and the work, none. But I played with a lot of good ones.
There's anybody that could have made it if they didn't go south?
Yes, a lot of them, but not not more talented and not more hardworking, but a lot of good players.
Right.
A lot of good players. A lot of them I'm born 95, so I came directly at the generation 92. Right. And then 92, 93 generations in Croatia, we have, ballers, like not players, ballers from Dubrovnik, from Zadar, from Zagreb. Those guys at that time, I was a kid, so I'm looking up to them. I'm like, these guys are very, very, very good. Like I have to, get better to even get to play with them, not to be better than them, So that generation is very, very serious what we got. Very, very serious. But, as I tell you, in some coach don't trust, in some they cannot afford to stay in Zagreb anymore. The ones that are in Zagreb, they start to mess around, and then it's company, out, drinks, drugs, how it goes. So, there's a lot of bad examples, but also there's a lot of good ones. But how it is. The mathematical thing is always rarely guys make it, and a lot of guys don't make it. So it's unfortunate, but you have to be different to make it there.
Name a couple of those players that you looked up to.
I had Gordan Zadravec. I had who was good there? There was generation Toni Katic. He was with me in the national team right now in Split when we played the qualifications. He was unbelievable at that time. We had Toni Prostran. I think he's a little bit older than that, but he had bad situations with the injury. Amazing player. We had at that generation, Naev was a great center at the time. Who we had else? Of course, we had Dario was with me. He was 94 born. Dario, he was the second youngest. I was the youngest at that team. We were 94, 95 playing with the 92. And then also Dominic Mavra was there.
The old Yugoplastica guys and all that. Who those are the guys that did you watch them when you were young?
No, that was gone. That was gone. But listen, when I was growing up, there was a good year league. Yeah. If you remember. And Zadar and Split, Cibona, they were even Zagreb. They were top teams, if not top 4, they were top 5, top 6 teams. But now I look at the table out there and I see I cannot believe what's going on with our basketball.
I know. It's sad. I played in EuroLeague playoffs against Barcelona, and
yes. I remember Barcelona used to go play them, and it was a tough game. But now, they don't even play like Europe. It's so weird.
What did your mom go with you to Barcelona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was oh my God, that was a transition too. We didn't have nothing when we got there. I was like, I'm a Barcelona player. I don't have anything over here. I live like I don't belong here at all.
What,
But yeah, we got used to it.
What was the harder transition?
I mean, of course, it's like a language barrier.
Right.
They're not very different than us, but it's with the language is totally different. But when we got there, we had no money basically. Like we didn't know like how we had nothing in apartment, but we can't buy anything because the money, like we didn't have it right away at the transaction. We didn't have a bank set up yet because I just got there. So the first month was
anybody who's come to live in Spain knows getting a bank account is not the easiest thing in the world to do either.
True that also, especially with their weird ways of explaining stuff. But whatever, like for the first month it was rough, but then later on I was perfectly fine. Then my father came, my sister also came.
And when they came to live with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what was it like? I mean, it had to be strange because, I mean, Barcelona invested a lot in you, bringing you over at the age of 17, I guess, and being this promising player. Did you feel any pressure at all, like being brought over like that?
No, because I was with junior and I was with the second team first. Mm-hmm. So my transition went very smooth, and I think they were very smart for doing that. Right. And then my second year, I got into the first team, but they brought some players that were playing in front of me. So it was like, up and down entire year. And then third year, I was playing much more. Of course, they were trying to hide me from NBA to not let me go, blah, blah, blah. You know how this all goes. But I was having more opportunity with Xavi, to play. So it was a smooth transition after that.
Talk to me about I mentioned it earlier in the present day, in the opening, 8 for 8 from the 3-point line.
Yeah, that was against Manresa. I think it was, it was. I didn't know because after the game, I had to go to studio to have an interview that was already prepared like a week before, because I think before I had the double-double, which was like the youngest guy to do double-double, whatever. So I think they organized the interview for this, if I'm not mistaken. And then this happened, and in my opinion, I was, just making threes, like nothing is special going on. But when I saw it was like actually 8-8, I think I was one away for a record or something. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because then Jacob Pullen set the record like a couple weeks after in Valladolid. He shot, I think, 11 of them or 10 of them or something. So that was a very special year there.
What about the first moment in EuroLeague? I mean, can you remember in Barcelona playing? Well, you played
Beşiktaş, I think.
22 EuroLeague games your first year.
I think we played in Turkey my first game. I think it was
Turkey.
Yeah, but I don't know who. I think it was Beşiktaş or Efes.
I didn't go that far, man. I do some of my research, but I didn't go that far.
Yeah. I don't. Because I think it was. It might have been Efes, but I just got at the end of the game in nothing. So, but it was a learning experience. You know how it is. In European basketball is very, very, very different. I think you learn every single detail here, and every single detail matters. The game, as soon as it starts, is okay. Winning, only winning matters, and it's very high tempo. It's very physical. It's people want to win here. It doesn't matter how you look, how many you score, how many you rebound, how many you pass. You just win. And it was a learning experience, and I'm very thankful that I had Xavi there, because I mean, one day I'm sitting at the video and I'm looking at this scouting. It's like the board was so full that it was the biggest board that I've seen in my entire 12 years of school. Like I've never seen this board filled with so many information. I tell to Justin Dolman, he was at the 4 with us. I say, Justin, like, how the hell you remember all of this? There is no way. I don't even know what we started to talk about. Like, and I'm still sitting here. I'm still looking. I have no idea what's going on over here. So I'm very thankful that even to me that now that I know exactly what team plays, their plays, their characteristics, everything, that I really take pride in knowing that. It's very important that I started like this with Xavi, you know, because Xavi is very, very good coach, and he takes pride in preparing the games. And I've never seen anyone in NBA prepare like him, because he is to the point.
Detail, man. He's like all about the detail.
To the point, everything. And after a little bit, you know, he sent me home one time. Because there was a funny situation. I always say to these guys when they come from America, like, don't get upset by the coaches here, because that's how it is. I have Sharas playing pick and roll with Ante Tomic, and Ante rolls, and I'm tagging him from the strong side, which is not supposed to happen, and I'm trying to contest Navarro, and I actually block him a little bit. I tip the ball. And Xavi stops the practice. What the hell are you doing? Who do you think you are? What do you think this is? Fuera. And he sent me home. So that, you know, at the time, I was sad, you know, like, why am I going off the practice? Why is this happening to me? Blah, 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 all this, whatever. Yeah. But it's very important that happened to me at a young age, because now, like, I know how serious I have to be and how to prepare the games, because every position, every ball matters on the court, you know what I mean? Because this is a very different game.
That's a great thing about EuroLeague.
Yes. And I'm very, very thankful to Xavi that I actually had him show me, you know, because I came in as a talent. I say, guys, give me the ball and get out of my way, and I'll show you how to play basketball. But this is not basketball. This is not like 1-on-5. It's not basketball. So I'm very thankful that I had him to show me actually how to bring the talent to a team and play as a team, you know, and function and knowing the stuff, like how we want to play, how we want to guard.
Although you keep talking about Xavi, and through my research and everything, there was a report that you guys had like a miscommunication or something about you going
all the time. All the time.
Is there any truth to that? I mean, Xavi looks like a straight up guy to me.
All the time, but there was not miscommunication. I think he will tell you this. I think of all of the players that he had in his entire career, I was the most in his office. Double. Every week I was in his office. I get fined for, you know, talking crap to opponent players, talking crap to in the opposite arenas. I get fined for everything. On the practice, I don't guard the center. Like when I switch, I get fined. I was getting fined for everything. But, you know, I think he had a certain special way to raise me, and I think he did a good job at that level, you know, because, you know, I came in as a little kid that has a lot of talent, and, you know, there's best of his generation, but now it's time to play serious basketball. So I think he was the best for me to make that transfer from the, you know, youth to a serious team.
I love the fact that you warn the Americans when they come over about the coaches, because it is.
Yeah, I have to. I see it all the time, because they're not used to it, which is normal, you know. Right. But ironically, the biggest irony of our sport is that these coaches here fit NBA.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
fit NBA, and NBA coaches fit here to this lifestyle. But
you think, really, let's be honest. You think Sardes or Shelko
he's getting punched on second practice, and he's getting fired in like right after that in NBA. That's the honest and the true story for NBA.
Those guys are so good at what they do; they'd be able to adapt and adjust. But
I'm saying, like, the way it's more. It's not because how good the Željko Šaras are. It's how the other guys react. You know what I mean? It's not the Željko and Šaras are never the problem. That's how it's supposed to be. But it's a different story out there. But, you know, I also think, you know, at one point they should be given a chance. You know, at least. To try, you know. But you see, I mean, with other European coaches, you know, it's not very, you know, as assistants, as a guys that are around the NBA team, okay, but in a main role, it's very, very hard.
I mean, a great example was David Blatt when he went to Cleveland, and it's just
true that you can't say stuff. You know, I was just watching video right now. of our game against Milano here, and Mr. Ettore is going crazy on a sideline, which is guy shows a passion for the sport.
Right.
He won. I don't know what he didn't want. It's easier to speak to about what he didn't want than what he won. But he shows that passion there, and like guys in there, like whatever happens on the court, they sit on that bench and they're like, like this. If something bad happens, they're like this. If something good happens, they're like this. It's a show. It's entertainment. There is not a lot of emotion into it. There is not a lot stuff that you see in EuroLeague.
So did the family head with you to Orlando?
Early on, yes. I think my first year, yes, and then I ended up getting my house there.
Then you're like, hey, mom and dad, I'm all right now. I didn't be.
No, I'm never like that. I like him. I like him with me. Like I don't have problems like that. I don't mind at all. But I have them. I just said, however you guys want. So they were like in and out all the time. They come for 6 months. They're out for 6 months. They were basically based on visa. They were traveling.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the first year like? You're a young guy, rookie season. I mean, it's a decent season. You set a career high 21 points against the Bulls in one game. You played in 79 games. In April, you set a career high in steals and assists. And I mean, in your mind, was it a successful season, or did you feel like you could have given more?
None of them were successful, in my opinion, and I think I could have done so much more. Now, first year, I think if Skal stays, I think I excel. Right. But we will have to get rid of a lot of pieces on that team because Skal was a very unique coach. He was a unique player, and he had European tendencies.
It's one of my questions for you. I grew up with Scott. Scott and I had the same agent.
Yes. He's a great guy. He's crazy, which I love, but positively, there is no we are all crazy, but his craziness is positive. He's not. There is no negativity to it, and he knows how to play, and he knows how to coach. But his tendencies were European, so only Vucevic, Fournier, and I could understand him. To the point. And the practices were very European. So those Americans, they really didn't. Get along with that type of approach and everything, and the season was going up and down, and I just get a call the next summer. I get a call from the GM, say, hey, like he's so excited, we fired the coach, he left us, we're gonna hire a new coach. And I'm like, okay, I guess, yeah, sure. And then after they hired the Vogel, and then Vogel calls me, hey, Mario, we're going to play so fast. We're going to be in playoffs. We're going to shoot a lot of threes and all of that. So I said, Coach, did you watch any of our games last season? This is not a single point of what you said that we do in an actual basketball game. No, and we are light years from the playoffs. Right. So, yeah, it was I don't think that was structured very well. I don't think we were up to the, I don't think also competitive, but not to the structural. We were not to the point with other teams. I think other teams had so many more resources where we were like, just a brand new team in NBA. So that didn't help at all because, I got injured then, and then I was carrying my injury through those first 2 seasons. Then I had to step out, do my old rehabilitation, do the PRP, do the injection shots and then rest. And, so I was slowly building myself up. Right. To the most ready I was in New York and Portland. But those were like the 2 worst situations for me. So the whole, how many years was I even there? 5 years, 4 or 5 years. It was, it's not realistical, the output I give on the court. And it's like constantly going through like, the politics, this and that, so I really wasn't gonna, the one thing I really did good there is I wasn't really gonna pay attention and go into the stuff. Hey, why am I not this? Why you guys do this? I was really quiet. I learned the business at a very young age, which I'm thankful that I have people behind me, my manager, my agent, that really, advise me to do the right stuff, hire your chef, hire your trainer, hire your basketball coach, hire your weight room coach, hire your yoga coach. I hired all of those people. I started to spend more money on myself than ever, because I don't shop. I buy a car and I hire a coach. That's all I was doing. So I really invested in myself, and I think it's paying off now, because now I get to play. Now you see, oh, he's athletic. Well, no crap. Like I was working, you know what I mean? So he can shoot. I know, because I was doing that stuff. So I couldn't put the product of my work into the NBA season, but I never complained about it. I never cried about it. I just kept doing more. I kept doing more because I knew, like, with my talent and with my abilities, the day will come. So I just have to be ready for my opportunity, for my team, where I'm going to have a role like I have now, that I'm going to excel under the coach that gives me the role. And it's happening,
It's crazy how, like, then you went to New York, then you went to Portland. Yeah. You moved around a lot.
And I hate that.
We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but it's funny how, like, when you said you didn't dream about playing in the NBA, but I think at one point or another, everybody thinks about, to me, it was like, I didn't think about it, but when it happened, and then you're like, oh, this is amazing. And then, like you said, all the BS that goes with it. Because as a kid, you're like, you're dreaming about winning the championship and hitting that last minute shot when you're on a court by yourself, like working out.
Oh yeah, of course. That's one thing that's true. Yeah, because
and nowhere in your dream are you thinking about a team, not like picking up your contract and you be moving from one place, then all of a sudden you're in a trade and you're like, what the hell? This is not
Yes, absolutely. That's the true feeling, what you said. But I wasn't thinking, like what team and it's NBA coming and I never had those. But the second shots, oh yeah, I have plenty of those. Plenty of those thoughts.
By yourself and And when you miss the last second shot, you got fouled, so you have to go to the foul line and finish it out.
Yeah. You add extra 5 seconds just for yourself, so you can take another one.
Exactly. The end of your NBA career, I want to wrap it up quick, kind of. What was your feeling like, man, when you left?
Done.
I know you talked about being in the bubble and obviously it was a difficult situation. I think it was a difficult situation for everybody, not just yourself. But each person lives their own moment, especially when you have that when you're in your closet by yourself. And you said that you were done. What you were just done with basketball? You were done with
everything. And I don't think people take this seriously. Like we see a lot of players come out, some for publicity, some for real reasons. You never know. You can never judge. But we don't take players like serious, and we don't pay close attention to how they feel and what they actually say.
Are you talking about the mental aspect? That
was also the part. I never had a problem with that, but I was just fed up with the BS that you and I were mentioning.
Right.
Because I had a feeling that I went to the bubble just because some players declined to play. Right. And it was
you guys didn't really have you didn't really have a chance in the bubble either, did you? You just had to go.
No, but like we won the first game, we got into the playoffs. We win the playoff tournament against Memphis, and we got into playoffs. But I think people were more satisfying to get in the playoffs than actually win in the playoffs.
Right.
There was that mentality there because they were stacking playoffs in the year, and like that's like accomplishment for them, whatever. But it was a good group. And after that season stopped in March 10th, we couldn't get in the gym for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And the first players that got back was Dame, CJ, Nurk, me, the rookies, and a couple more guys. But it wasn't, it was very weird. The gloves, the mask, one player per basket, this and this, whatever. But I came in there and I see they're killing me. Everybody else is shooting, and I'm over here running full court. This. Only I have a full court. Everybody else has a have. So I'm okay. Like I'm very, I think a lot about what can probably happen, and so this is actually good. They're trying to tell me something without saying it. So I'm getting a feeling that I'm gonna be important piece for the bubble. You know what I mean? And long story short, we had a couple of declines for the team, and as much as I hated that they're giving me this opportunity just because somebody declined, that they don't see that I'm actually better than whoever, right? I was, had that anger in me that I'm going to play even better and I'm going to show it. But we got in a bubble. I had a very, good beginning of the bubble there. We played extremely well. We won that tournament. But I think like when the playoffs started, I think they, how coaches there, when something is not going their way, they just shrink. They shrink themselves emotionally, and they shrink their abilities, but they also shrink the team. They always tend to go to something that was proven to work for them in previous years.
Right.
And he was constantly, some, negativity going on, which I don't like at all having around my team. And, it was not going well for us. Then we won the Lakers first game and we lost 4 in a row, whatever. And long story short, after that, I just said, because I live there, I live in Orlando, I just told my sister, just, pick me up. I'm ready to leave, like right after the dinner. Because we came back, we lost the game. Dinner, I think I didn't even go to dinner. I just went straight to the car, straight home. And I was completely off the grid. I even told my manager, I'm done with this. You can focus on other players. Don't focus on me. I'll be all right. Don't worry about it. But they're all smiling and laughing because, I guess with my mentality of who I am all the time, when I say something serious like this, the first couple of times is a joke, but it wasn't no joke. And for 2 months, nothing. For 2 months, nothing. I'm still a player of Blazers because of the second year. I had an option to pick it up, but I say this is, for me, this is a no. Like, you can do all this business with them, whatever you want. And from September 1st to November 1st, I didn't do nothing. I was just in a weight room and I was just doing my yoga. I was meditating, and that was all I was doing for myself, stretching and all that. And in November, I said, you know what? Like, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to start practicing. And I came 1st November to the gym. I swear to God to you, I felt like I never stopped playing basketball. And that also like showed me how much importance has the mental aspect of the game, how much mentally you're ready, how much, you take care of yourself mentally, like, like all the other stuff, for me, my entire life is just the ball, the ball. I have to put the ball in a hoop. If I put the ball in a hoop, I'm the best player. If I don't put the ball in a hoop, I'm the worst player. That was the whole philosophy of basketball. But this showed me that, how there is other pieces that you have to put together to excel and to get to the point where you want to be in life, in a career, or whatsoever. And after that, it was, I really started to get my enjoyment of the game back, because I was playing with my boys in, Courtney Lee was there. A couple other NBA players were coming to play with us. And we were constantly playing every day, 5-on-5. And I was playing my game. I was enjoying. We were competing. It was I told them, like, guys, this basketball that we just play here is the best basketball I played my whole 5 years in NBA. So this says something for itself too. So I really enjoyed that time that I took for myself. Of course, later on, they told me, hey, you traded this and this. I figured out 3 weeks after. They say, oh, why you don't answer? My guy, I didn't even know for your trades or for you or anything. I'm sorry. I apologize, but I have to take time for myself. So, yeah, long story short, I say I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just going to have a whole year. Initially, I say I'm going to have a whole year for myself. I want to get my, groove and, just basically all the passion back, because it was really draining. And I felt like the person that I am, it's impossible to drain it. But of course, like when a lot of BS is happening and a lot of negativity, like even the biggest ones get
Right.
drained. So yeah, so it was unfortunate, but I went back at it. and then the call from Pau.
Yeah, that was my next line.
Yeah. That was because that was in.
Why are you such a big Panathinaikos fan?
You know, like it was always love between us. That we always had that connection. I love the fans, you know, since I was a kid, and then of course through my NBA career, I watched more EuroLeague basketball than that there. So, you know, of course, I was watching Pau. You know, Nick was playing there. They had a good Deshaun Thomas was there. Also, he was my teammate in Barcelona. So I had reasons to follow the team. And I think they were, you know, Xavi went there. So, you know, and I was posting a lot about them. And, you know, I was very happy that they came to me and they asked me, hey, do you want to... They thought, my agent told me that... they thought it was a joke, that like, how is it possible that I want to come there? Like, what do you mean, how is it possible? Like, I'm flying tomorrow if you need it. So it was on my birthday too. So it was very, very, one of the most special moments in my life for sure.
Well, it's researching you and learning about you, because I didn't know too much about you before you came back into the EuroLeague. And researching you, you seem like, other than extremely confident, I guess sometimes even like some people would say arrogant, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people say that because they cannot think of anything else.
I mean, that's when I played, I was the same way. There was like,
that's a compliment. That's not bad.
but it's interesting to me. The most interesting thing I think I found out about you is that you have a desire to be a one place. A deep down desire just to say, okay, this is, I want to open up my suitcase. I want to put all my clothes in the drawer. I want to hang all my stuff up. I want to put my trophies on a wall, and I want to be here forever. But at this point of your career, that's not happening. You've been to like 8 different teams.
And Joe, the more I thrive for this and the more I ask for that, the more I change. And I hate change. That's one thing that I hate.
Your mentality changes about that, or what do you mean?
It did. It did forcefully. It did, and you know, I can roll with anything. I really get used to the bads, the goods, the everything, and at any place, anywhere in the world, I always did, and I always will. But I just don't like because my thought for me was like, man, when I see myself, I'm retired. I'm not playing anymore. I want to see my first name, my last name, my only one number. Okay, maybe this because I'm 8 at the national team, so they will see 11 and 8, no more numbers. They will see one team for 20 years, and they will see multiple trophies and accolades down there. That was my photo of myself. But then, you know,
that was like what I talked about, the NBA dream, where you're like,
yes,
you know, that it just doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
Yes, and you get moved places and all this. And first thing out there, you know, like my first ever trade deadline in March, you know, was in February, March or something. And they're all on the phones. Players are like this, walking through a hallway and all this. And I'm over here walking. I don't give a damn. I say, guys, I'm not a tradable player. If you trade me, you lose. You know, I was with this. I was with this European mindset about it. I don't care about trades, whatever. But later on, it becomes reality. It's really hard to be an NBA player, you know, in those terms. You never know something can happen, and they really like have this switch. On a switch, you're gone or something. You know, it can happen to anyone. You know, you see all these stars that were, you know, Wall, Cousins. They don't even play anymore, like, because, you know, teams just go different direction. You know,
unfortunately, it takes until about then for you to realize it's not a sport anymore.
Especially there. Here it is still. It's changing, but here is a sport
like
still.
50-50 still.
Yes, it got worse, but it's been the war. It's been the business, and I was even having fights with my agent and manager. Like, what do you guys know about this? This is about basketball, you know. Like, it's maybe 1% about basketball, and it's sad, but it's a reality.
So, man, you finally get to your dream team, and just what the hell happened? I mean, I read it all. I know the team didn't talk to you guys and so forth and so on. I have a couple of things to say about that, but to me, again, as I just said, you look like a guy who wants to be in one place.
Yeah.
Not only do you want to be in one place, but there was one place that you really wanted to be.
Yeah.
And then you leave. You understand, but it doesn't make sense to me, right?
It doesn't make sense to me to this day. It doesn't make sense at all. But we had a very unique connection there. You know, the players, we were all together, and you know, Fragi is there, Dimitris is there, Nikos is there. You know, like the group was connected, and I think we got more connected because of the bad times. Because Panathinaikos is not a team for a bottom of the EuroLeague. Panathinaikos, the worst is top 4, the worst. So we got connected. You know, we talked about everything. You know, of course, that's Greece is also for me considered Balkans with our mentality too. So you can really 100%, you know, just trust into one thing and go in one direction. There's also always a second direction there. But it wasn't, you know, I even got to them. I went there personally to speak to them, and I say, guys, you know, I don't know what you think. Maybe you see me as an NBA player as this and this, but I want to win with Panathinaikos, and I want to come back. This is in April. This is in May. Yeah. Yes, okay. We already had everything was done. Everything was basically, you know, we will do this. And yeah, the summer started, the national team started, and you know, nobody's calling. Also, I said that I'm gonna make decision the last one. That I'm going to, I committed, but I'm going to make my decision last because I want to see what type of a team we are preparing. What are we doing? Because I see that they are maybe not bringing Katash, which was a good coach for me. He was a good coach for us. He was a player. I love those player coaches. Right. But I see there is they are, you know, they might change, they might do this, they might bring new players, whatever. So in that's why I specifically said this in my last interview there, that I'm gonna be last to make a decision, right? But you know, the June is passing, nobody's saying nothing. July is almost passing, in mid-July, whatever. Some pressure starts to build up. You know, I want to come back. Why is this not already done? Like, what's going on? You know, some player.
You weren't signed yet.
Yeah, I wasn't. It was. I said even my manager and my, you know, I'm not supposed to.
Verbally committed to them.
Yes, but I'm not supposed to be doing this because I'm putting myself in a bad place. But for Panathinaikos and for people there, I'm doing this because I don't care. And I said no to everyone here, and I said no to everyone in NBA. I have no interest of doing anything. You know, I just want to go there because I felt home there. But the time was passing, and you know, from nothing, the offer came totally something different of what we were talking. On top of that, the other players were signed, but you know, there is, you know, we don't have this and this, we don't have these resources, we don't have this, and I still, with all of this, my manager was they were already gone with that stuff. They were already next page, but I was still like, I'll bring that page back. You know, I still wanted to do this, but I think it was not a good option on those terms to go there because they wouldn't see the basketball side of me, which is why I'm going there. It will be for something completely different that I'm not very good at, and something that I'm not also to the point even interested. You know, I know I bring a lot of people together with the name and the attraction and this and the basketball play and everything, but you know, my main focus is basketball. And you know, I have to commend again the UNICS. You know, they were from day one, they were the most serious. They were always there, whatever I needed. They were very professional with me, and they were the most important. They were very honest with me. We want you for this, this, and this. Also, having Coach Pascual helped. Because he told me strictly, this is what I want, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do with you. And I had the plan. I have a vision now that what I'm gonna be doing, which is basically what I'm doing now. But with the other side, I had nothing. I had nothing. I don't know how this team is going to end up looking. We have a couple new players in front of me already signed, and now we're going to decide with Ioannis and me at the end. Like Dino's already left, so it was a mess. I don't think maybe. I mean, I'm not even blaming them. Maybe everything went, through their hands. They had no control of everything. It's a very bad situation in terms of. It's hard for them. You know what I mean? It's not the season from for what they wished the last season. Also, when we were there, it's a very hard situation. But
is it difficult for you to see them at the bottom of the table now, or is
yes, I saw it, and it's
doesn't it give you a feeling like you made the right decision?
I mean, because I'm not looking at it from that point, because I'm looking at it from the point where I'm like, damn, I made a bad decision because now they're almost last, and I'm not helping with this what I did. You know what I mean? I was looking at it from more like honest, from more like caring perspective. Right. You know what I mean? But from the realistically and for like career-wise, selfish-wise, and pretty much everything-wise, other than caring, I made the best what is for me, for my career, for my life, for everything. You know what I mean? Of course, like people are also like, oh, money, this and this. This was like the money was like the last of the things that we discussed. That was not even because I really didn't care in my mind. I mean, I'm in Europe. There is COVID. There is this. There is that. Like if I'm asking for money from team in Europe, first of all, I'm absurd. I'm an asshole because I'm not in a point with what's realistic all these times in Europe. You know what I mean? And then, like, second of all, like, you have to be, realistic of where you're coming from to what you are coming to. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was unfortunate, and it was a total mess. And then at the end of that month in July, I had to really say, okay, stop with this, and I had to do what's the best for me. So sad but true.
2 quick questions: is the NBA in your future, or are you here to stay?
I'm not thinking about it at all. I know a lot of, I see a lot of those scouts. They think they're slick with their glasses and their hats and everything. But I mean, after 5 years, you can recognize every American in your facility. So, I know there's going to be interest. I know there's going to be opportunity and everything. I'm not thinking about it at all because I know it's going to be always there. But this style, this role is what I always wanted. Maybe it's crazy to say, but it's what I always deserve with my work and my approach to this sport. So I'm really thriving in it. I'm really expanding my game. I'm getting better. I'm also very one of the biggest points was also like to show the leader characteristics, because some of the guys are born with it, and to some you also have to go through a lot of bad situation. You know what I mean? You have to. For me, like I think like all of my, I think I was born with it, with the passion and like, come on, like always bringing the best out of the guys, but and out of me to help the guys. But when you go through certain situations in your life, you really have compassion and empathy for other teammates and other players, that where you exactly know what to tell them and what not to tell them, and when is the time to tell them and when is not the time to tell them, and bring the whole team together, you know what I mean, for one goal, which is to win. So
I think most people do we lose them?
No, somebody called her on her phone. Okay.
I think most people are not born leaders.
That's true.
The people become leaders over time, and it comes with experience. It comes with having the confidence of the people around you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that can lead but never get the opportunity to also.
Yes. I believe that. I really, really believe that, and especially after. I mean, when I get to my situation now, I really believe is, you become a leader rather than you just, hey, I am a leader. You know what I mean? With no background or anything.
Just like anything else. I mean, you were probably born to be a basketball player, but if you never found a basketball,
yes,
you would have never.
true. Also, there is you know, I believe that Lillard is born like that. I really believe that.
Yeah.
Because think about it, like maybe he had obstacles in his college career and everything, but the NBA career is going pretty smooth for my eyes. But he is one of the top. I learned so much in 1 year there, and especially when Melo came. You know, people were like, "Why are you so happy that Melo is coming? He's literally coming in front of you to play in front of you." And I said, "That's exactly why I'm happy, because he's going to play in front of me.
Right.
I'm getting to study him, how he does everything and how he is in a locker room, what he does off the court. And on top of this, I have Damian there too, and CJ. So it was the best year in my NBA career, just learning. I was literally like scouting every single move that they did."
It's crazy that we've been talking like for over an hour or close to an hour now, and it seems like you're like 34 years old and you're still only 26. You know, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Hey, my second question to that part before we get into UNICS and then our test is what would it take to go back to Panathinaikos?
I mean, that was for me nothing, because that's my team. Those are my people there. I'm not asking anything for them, you know, out of them. You know, for me, that's always one place that I consider home. You know what I mean? It's very, very unique situation, and you know, it's a no-brainer for me. You know, that's very easy. But you know, I have to do what's best.
Let me ask you, if you had to choose between going back to Panathinaikos and winning a EuroLeague title somewhere else, what would it be?
I think I'm winning EuroLeague title. I think I mean that, but that's the one that that's exactly what I'm doing right now. That's the one thing where I had to make a difficult decision for my career. But the best thing is winning a EuroLeague title with Panathinaikos. That there's no.
Right, hey, do me a quick favor. Take your shoulders or take your elbows off the table, because you got the thing. There you go. You had the video going up and down. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm too strong. Sorry.
Well, I figured that was going to be your answer. Go to Panathinaikos and win the European.
Yeah, my bad. I have to step over the table. My bad.
Yeah, but it's not my job to make it easy on you. Hey, so now you're in UNICS, and I mean the team's 6th place. You guys are 1st place in the VTB, 6th in EuroLeague. I think you're 7-5 right now as we speak. And I've been watching you guys, following you guys. I feel like of those 5 losses, there might have been 2 or 3 of those games that you probably should have won.
Yeah, we should have won the first 2 if I wasn't terrible. But you know, I think the first month was very, you know, get along time. You know what I mean? It's very important for chemistry. And I was also saying it before season started on our interviews and anything. I've seen good things go bad because, you know, you sign more than 3 players. Mm-hmm. You know, it's hard to put them all in a line and, hey guys, this is what we want from you. Right. This is what you're gonna be doing, and this is the role, and this is our play. Like, this is how we're gonna play. And I don't want to hear no excuse. I don't want to hear nothing for the whole season if you want this to work. And a lot of people have problems in these teams to get out of their, you know, out of the line and say something like this, which is actually helpful. But here, I think we really established this, you know, not the authority, but we established the entire, all of us in a locker room. We really established ourselves through the bad games. You know what I mean? We were like, okay, I was terrible, guys. What we're doing? Okay, do this. Okay, but like if this happens, and through the talk, through the reps, through the practice, because we really practice serious, and through those games, we really grew together. And now we are playing our best basketball as a product of going through growing times that first month, which is, I mean, we lost 40 points in the final, which is absurd.
Right.
But it really, that one game had to happen to us. It had to happen, and it's good that happened early.
What's the team's realistic goal this season?
I think for us, we are aiming absolutely for the top 8. We were absolutely aiming for this because we want to be here next year. We want to be in EuroLeague, but the way we play, the way we compete, and we really don't see our limits. I think we can go much higher than that. But also, I don't think if that should be said anywhere, because EuroLeague is very hard league. Yes. The teams are very good. Coaches are very good. They prepare very good. I mean, I see it. Trust me, I see that. And I don't really like to make any comments in Europe because anything can happen at any night. And, you have to show maximum respect to teams in Europe because those guys, maybe they're not the most talented players in the world. This is not NBA in terms of individual skill, but those guys came every night and really played hard against us. You know what I mean? So they show respect to us. We have to show respect to everyone because this is our first year back in. And I think that's the only way of doing something great in EuroLeague this year.
I think it's, and I'm not saying that because I work with EuroLeague and I commentate the games and everything else, but I think you would probably answer this the same as me or better. The product, the EuroLeague product is not, I don't want to say 100. So many people get mad at me when I say this, but it's so much better on a night-to-night basis than the NBA.
Yeah.
Because as you're saying right now, I mean, you can't take a night off in the EuroLeague.
Yeah, but people want to eat their burger, drink their cola, and see people dunk.
Right.
You know what I mean? People don't want to see.
They don't want to see
me pressuring the point guard full court, and then passing the ball 7 times around, and then somebody gets a layup because he cannot breathe anymore on the court, and he cannot jump to touch the net anymore, so he just does a layup because they don't see. Not a lot of people see the effort in this game, in this level, and I think this is probably the best basketball. If we speak about basketball, this is probably the best basketball in the world. The most organized.
That's
the most organized basketball.
That's my attitude also, because the product is so good. Like we have EuroLeague TV. We have that commercial that says every game matters, and there's no better phrase than that.
Yeah.
Like every game does matter, and every night that you play matters.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you, from your experience in the NBA, one thing that you would bring from the NBA to Europe within the game? I'm preparing you for the EuroLeague test. I make you think, man. I told you my job's to make it difficult on you, not make it easy.
One thing from there.
Or is there nothing?
I mean, I want to say nothing, but I don't want to be rude. Because really nothing fits. Honestly, nothing fits. It's a different game. If you bring also sometimes guys here that are capable should play a little bit more with the NBA tendency. The guys that are capable. I'm saying, sometimes the early shot in the clock is not a bad shot, which it was through the years considered always a bad shot. But if the guy is capable and he is shooting at the good clip of those, I think, it can be very.
Let him fire it away, man.
It can be very useful. But then if you have Dimitris or Mr. right here on the bench, you're gonna slap the hell out of you when you come out. So you know what I mean? So it's high risk, high reward, I guess.
I got 5 questions for you. Each one increments by 10 points. First one's 10, second one's 20, third one's 30, all the way to 5 is 50. So far this year, Coach Itutis is the only one that's done this. He got 30 points. So I think you should beat him.
Damn. As long as I don't get 0, let's go.
No, there's no way you're going to get 0. I can tell you that right now.
All right.
Here's the first question. What's the name of the Panathinaikos OPOP Athens Arena?
Oaxaca.
Also valid as the Olympic Indoor Hall or Oaxaca, whatever.
Yeah, but
we always hand you 10 points. That's it. Who is the actual coach? This is question number 2 with 20 points. Who's the actual coach of Vitesse Baskonia Victoria Gasteiz? Right
Neven Spahia, but it was Ivanovic.
20 points. Plus, there you got 30. You tied up right now.
Dimitris, I'm after you.
Hey, he was rolling too. This is where he got stuck. Question number 3 worth 30 points. Which player has grabbed the most rebounds in EuroLeague history since the year 2000?
I know it was Reyes for Spanish league. It was I don't know. I want to say Reyes or Heinz. I don't know.
Paulius Yankunis.
Oh, no way. I know that.
Yeah, that was your 30 points. All right, here we go. Worth 40 points. When playing EuroLeague games, which team has more victories in the Greek Derby? When playing in EuroLeague games, all right? Which team has the most victories?
I'm saying Panathinaikos. I don't even care.
Say Panathinaikos?
Yeah, I'm rolling with my team through the good, through the bad. I don't care.
You just lost 40 points, man.
That's fine. I'm living with it.
Olympiacos is up 8-7.
No, I don't want to say none about them. I'm rolling with my team.
All right, here's your 50-pointer to try to beat Dimitris.
Okay.
How many Italian players does AX Armani Exchange Milan have on the roster?
They have Meli. They have a 3 guy. They have Datome. They have the new guy that just signed. That's 4. They have. Let me go quick to the roster.
Take your time.
All right, that's their starting lineup. And 4?
Not even close, man. They got 7.
7?
7.
The hell? What I said Meli.
That
3 guys.
surprised me. They have Meli, Ricci,
Datome.
Liga, Mordecai.
Yeah, you're right. He played against us too. Oh my God, he got the pass. Okay.
Mordecini, Baldosso.
He just signed him. Yeah.
Elviti and Luigi Datome.
Yeah, Datome, I knew that. Damn.
And
Never mind.
30 points. Last year's winner was Marios Grigonas.
Really?
Yeah, he won with 70, so don't feel that bad.
No,
Hey.
it's all good. I was rolling with my team though. I knew something was wrong, but I was rolling. I stuck to my team. I took one for my team.
You could have went against your team and won this thing, and you blew it.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it.
Hey Mario, it's been a wonderful experience. I love doing this because I get to know people. You see people from the outside sometimes, and you really don't know them that well. But I got to know you here during this interview. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. It was nice to talk to you.
Gracious and all that other stuff. I'm looking forward to when you guys come here to Madrid.
For sure, I will see you there then. For sure, thank you.
And I'll be sitting right next to your bench, so I'll come give you.
Okay. Don't talk crap to me because you will motivate me.
hey, look at. The only thing I ask of you guys when you come to Madrid and I'm doing the games, like just make a spectacular play so I can get the number 1 player of the week.
Okay. I'll take care of that.
All right, take care. Hey man, good luck.
Thank you.